Hey, I'm trying to live until I die. Come connect, you know it's a lewd state of mind. Yeah, yeah, talking traveling. If you wanna fly, fitness and finance, living a better life, keep it raw, no filter, living with no limit. Thank you for tuning in. Come on, let's get it.
David Smith, welcome to Lured Studios, mate.
Thanks for having me.
How you going?
I'm good.
It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has. As we were just saying, it's often a conversation in a pub that we forget about months
I
later.
know. I'm fucking shocking like that. I've had all these really great, intelligent conversations and then forgotten about it, you know, the next day.
Oh, well, you can just have the conversation again, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose
Pretend it never happened.
that's what Alzheimer's is like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming down today.
Thanks for having me.
As I said, good to see you again. Did I detect a bit of an accent? Where's that from?
That's from the UK, from Luton, sadly.
Sadly, is that northern or southern?
Luton is about 50 k's north of London.
Oh, so it's fairly central.
Pretty central.
Is it a bit of a shithole, is it?
Yeah, you could say that.
What do we compare it with, Frankston?
Oh, geez. No.
No?
Frankston's probably...
Frankston's nice.
Glamorous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. What would you compare it with? I shouldn't throw shade anywhere here because I don't know.
We'll leave it up to the listeners to figure that one out.
One of the things they say about Luton is the best thing about it is so it's famous for its airport and its soccer team. But the soccer team's a bit shit, but that's another story. But that's where I was born, so that's the soccer team I go for. So Luton,
is that how it works?
Well, that's how it works in my world.
Yeah. I think it's the same with AFL over here.
Yeah,
isn't
that's it. But so the best thing about Luton apparently is the airport because you can
fuck off.
Yeah. But I was born there, but I grew up in a very I suppose picture postcard chocolate box country village, which was stumble across the field to the pub sort of scenario. So,
nice.
So that was
sounds
nice.
lovely.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. And here I am, nearly 11 years later in Melbourne. So
that was going to be my next question. 11 years.
Yeah, July 2015. Yeah. Well, it was Lucy's birthday. We landed.
The lovely Lucy. That's your wife or
We're not
partner?
married, we're partner.
Oh, living in sin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody's good with that.
Well,
is she good with not having a wedding? Because I know a lot of females aren't. They like to tie things down, don't they?
Some do. So far, so good. I wouldn't necessarily say no, never doing that. I'm open-minded about it. My stance has probably softened over the years as well.
Of course.
So yeah, you never know. Never say never.
Yeah, exactly. And if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it as well.
Well, there is that is part of it as well. I'm pretty conscious of that. But,
exactly. Well, shout out to Lucy. I hope she's listening to this. You reckon she will?
Oh, she
You
will,
reckon the subject matter today is going to be right up her alley?
She should have been on here talking about it because she's much more of an expert.
Was it discussed between the two of you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Which is an important part of the whole, I suppose, the whole process of what we're talking about today. So,
all right, we'll get to that very shortly.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to Cam and Amelia because they're the conduit between me and you and Lucy and that. So, and as I was saying, I'm going to see them in a week's time in Japan.
Yeah,
which has made you very jealous.
It has. Yeah. You shouldn't have told me that.
Yeah, sorry, man. But I know you love Japan. I know you love snowboarding. You're a keen snowboarder.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So you're one of the crew, mate. You're one of the boys.
Oh yeah, no, I wish. I hope you have a great time in Japan.
I'm sure we will, mate. Yeah, sure we will.
Go and shred.
Yeah. The travel insurance is all paid for, so hopefully we don't need to be airlifted anyway. There's so much snow over there at the moment.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's been in the news a bit.
Yeah.
Especially with, sadly, a few people coming a cropper as well.
Yeah, well, we've had 2 deaths, 2 Australians have died, and both heart attack related, which is very odd.
Yeah.
One of them was only 27, so very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. You never want to think about, not coming back from a snowboard trip, do you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've come a cropper snowboarding, but fortunately lived to tell the tale. So it's very sad for those people.
And also the Japanese, stuff like roofs caving in because of the amount of snow.
Yeah.
Just an insane amount. There's more coming over the next week.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as too much snow. There is such a thing, which is hard to believe sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was reading about, they'd even had to cancel some of the bullet train services and stuff like that, and you think
the Shinkansen,
yeah,
yes,
the Shink, and that sort of seems like it would be unthinkable in Japan. Everything runs so smoothly, and all that. So yeah, it must be.
Yeah, it must frustrate the Japanese. Not being able to run their timetables.
Yeah,
because as you say, everything's pretty meticulous over there, and that's the beauty about that joint. Everything just runs so smoothly, and it's just like a well-oiled machine.
Such a fascinating place.
It's great. I can't wait to get back, man.
Yeah,
I'm going straight to a vending machine and buying a big can of beer, big can of Asahi. So, looking forward to it. Hey, today, I mean, obviously we've had a good discussion prior to today, what we were going to talk about. Yeah. I was surprised that you picked this topic.
So was I.
But I think it is an important topic, and if you've clicked on this episode, you've probably seen in the description exactly what we're going to be talking about. So if there's any females listening, just sit back, relax. You're probably going to learn something about your partner, about the male perspective, which is what we want. And then if you don't want to listen to it, and you're going to turn off right now, tell your husband, tell your partner about it. Get them to, put it on.
Yep.
Put it on in the car by themselves, and hopefully we can all be wiser after this is all finished.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. So the big question, mate, what are we talking about today? What's the topic of discussion?
This is a pretty big one. I don't know. We're talking about perimenopause.
The big P.
The big P.
The big P and the big M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And for those people that don't know what perimenopause is.
I suppose, honestly, for a long time, I thought it was just a fleeting moment in a woman's life, maybe turn 50, menopause, there we go, that's dealt with. And but no, it turns out that it's the gift that keeps giving for women. It's sort of... It's a process of a, I suppose I like to say it's the process of a woman coming of age, to put positive light on it.
Exactly, that's a nice way to frame it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose the in between part is sort of like a 3 to 10 year software update.
I like the analogy.
That perhaps you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone asked for it, really, did they? But while that update's going on and it's installing, the hardware sometimes has a bit of a glitch, and the cooling fan's broken. We have to switch it off, switch it on again.
The old reboot.
The folder marked patience is sometimes gets randomly deleted and put in the recycle bin. So I guess I'm here, and I wanted to tackle the subject because rather than being what you might call a biological bystander, sort of being passive in the whole process and sort of letting her deal with it, I guess, I'm saying, how about we become a teammate and, increase our knowledge of it and become more aware of it, so we can support all our females going through the process.
Exactly. I love the way you frame that. It's obviously you're in IT.
Sort of.
So,
yeah. Well, I'm from a creative background as well, so yeah, graphic design and that kind of stuff.
Perfectly said. So, for anybody listening, perimenopause is the period before menopause.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And perimenopause has a lot of obvious warning signs or symptoms, and then sometimes it doesn't. I mean, obviously every female is going to go through it, and it varies as to their experience.
Yep.
I know from personal experience, my wife, it was always on the radar. We were aware of it. I think my wife was probably hoping that it was never going to come, and when it didn't come, it was as simple as a bone density test.
Right.
So she realised that she had osteoporosis,
yeah.
Which is obviously one of the symptoms of perimenopause, menopause.
Yeah.
And that was really what brought it to light. I was thinking about it today. I was trying to go back over those years and think, were there obvious signs that I didn't pick up? Because as I said, as a male, I've had 3 serious relationships over the course of time. And I think for any male that doesn't understand female biology and the female body is a little bit naive. It's like, sure, you should know how your own body works, and then of course if you're intimate with your partner or you've got a relationship with somebody, you want to be there to support them. So even as basic as a skin check, or a breast check, or just noticing stuff that they might not notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And as I said, I was going back and trying to figure out whether there was something that I'd missed. Were there mood swings? Well, I mean, a lot of females have mood swings and they don't have perimenopause. It's just
absolutely, yeah.
They have an event every month, which throws a spanner in the works sometimes.
Yep.
And even then, they don't even know that's happening. Some are really aware of it, and some aren't. Once again, it depends on the severity of it all.
Yep.
So there was nothing. Looking back, there was nothing apart from that bone density scan that sort of really brought everything to light. And it was, like the periods had lengthened out.
Yeah.
The duration between them. So we sort of knew that we were in that sort of zone. But nothing extreme. Like if we, I mean, you've got a list of symptoms there. Did you want to run through the symptoms of perimenopause?
Yeah, we could certainly have a look at that. I mean, I suppose one of the things I've read is perimenopause is kind of like puberty in reverse.
Explain how that is.
Well, I guess.
Are we talking about a lack of hormones? Because obviously, when you go through puberty, your body's just flooded with a hormonal fucking cocktail.
Yeah, so you get that phase in life where it's all I suppose those levels are going through the roof, and then perimenopause, obviously the levels are now declining.
Yep.
So I mean some of the symptoms, I suppose speaking from experience. So you've got brain fog. You touched upon bone density, which is actually something that I hadn't necessarily thought about so much.
Has Lucy had a bone scan?
She hasn't.
No?
But
maybe next time she goes to a doctor. Yeah. There are other signs of osteoporosis.
Yeah.
But definitely, because how old's Lucy now?
She is 45. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking, she's on the lower end. Like perimenopause can hit females in their late 30s.
Yeah, absolutely.
In some instances, obviously, and then some might not get it till 50, 55. So there's that big range of, being in the target for it to happen. So
and as you were saying, I mean, I sort of tried to rack my brains and think, what did I sort of what did I miss? Looking back in terms of perhaps the signs. So for me, it all crept up silently, and then it was like all of a sudden, oh wow, okay, we've hit this sort of stage in life. So I look back now and it's just some of the small things, like driving, for instance, and parking the car, like reverse parked 100 times before and then sort of all of a sudden it just sort of it was like she hadn't learned to drive. Parking and stuff like that, and it's sort of like, and now you think about it and it's like, well, now I understand more about it. That's sort of like brain fog and things like that, and then anxiety's been quite a big one as well.
Of course.
Where are we? Insomnia, struggling to sleep.
Sleep's a big,
big one,
it doesn't matter whether you're going through perimenopause or you're whatever it is. Sleep is so important.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
Yeah. And Lucy was always a good sleeper, and then all of a sudden, it's like, it's just a nightmare. And then obviously that, if you're tired and cranky, that just exacerbates things.
Just compounds, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things I sort of read about as well was this feeling. It sounds like fornication, but it's not. I think it's called formication.
Formication.
And it's this feeling of things crawling under your skin.
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah.
horrible.
Fortunately, she hasn't had that, but
Oh.
it's sort of while I was looking at the subject, it's one of these things that came up, and I thought, wow, that's that must be
That'd be
horrible.
fucking terrible.
Yeah. But thinking back now, so sort of personal experience, one of the things that we didn't realize until very recently, but was over the last probably 5 years or so. So over sort of COVID times, we were living down in Gippsland, and she just developed this cough, but only at sort of certain times, and it was just this really annoying, not like a hacking cough, just a really annoying dry cough.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife, Ashley. She'll be listening to this. She knows.
And I was like, this is weird.
And annoying. Yeah.
And annoying.
Yeah.
What sort of and she went to the doctors, and there was no mention of it could be a perimenopause symptom at the time or anything.
I've never heard of that mentioned in the perimenopause sort of realm.
Yeah.
That's completely left field.
Yeah, it is. But and I'm not necessarily suggesting it is directly tied to perimenopause. But so anyway, to sort of, I suppose, cut a long story short, she's had this cough, and she had it, and she went to the doctors, and she's kind of gone around in circles a bit with it. She went to see a specialist. They were like, huh? And then it kind of settled down. And then when we moved back to sort of more suburban Melbourne, it kind of came back again, and we started putting it down to sort of maybe allergy type stuff, maybe sort of asthma, and she got various kind of different treatments, inhaler, whatever, and not really anything happened. And so we're sort of scratching our heads a bit. Anyway, finally she sort of, I suppose, found a doctor that was not sort of giving her the runaround really, and just kind of, giving her a prescription and on your way.
Yeah.
But
and
anyway,
that's, sorry to stop you there, but that's one thing that we talk about here is get a second opinion, get a third opinion, get a fourth opinion. If you're trying to find answers, don't just accept the normal get brushed off. It's very important.
Yeah, and I'll come back to that, because I think something else that was pretty wild when I was sort of looking at the subject came up as well. But anyway, so turns out she was actually getting acid reflux.
Yes. Yeah.
And so she's got some medication now, which has made a big difference. She wasn't really keen to take the medication, but it was kind of to try and get to the bottom of what was going on. So so she's been taking that.
So it's an actual medication. It's not like the stuff that you can buy at the chemist for.
No, it's prescription. It's I think it's called a omeprazole or something.
Okay.
It's like it's a PPI proton.
What's the stuff that you get from just the pharmacy? It's
Rennie or something like
that.
Yeah.
It's gone from the
Gaviscon.
Gaviscon. That's the one. That's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
I remember the ad with the little firefighter.
Exactly.
In there. That's the one. Yeah.
And
so does that not work? Those ones, or is it?
Well, she didn't really try it because we didn't know that was it at the time. But the doctor actually was actually really good at trying to get this figured out.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of under control, and she's going to go and see a specialist or whatever, and make sure that there's not been damage to the esophagus and that kind of stuff, which is all good. But we didn't make any connection to perimenopause.
Was there a connection though? Or is this a completely different, isolated issue?
The doctor hasn't mentioned anything about it, but when we think back now, and I suppose it's quite anecdotal, but Lucy's spoken to other, friends and colleagues and acquaintances and stuff, and it turns out that some of them have had that issue, and they're all going through perimenopause.
Wow.
So now I'm not a doctor, and I don't claim to be or anything like that, but there seems to be some kind of association there.
Yeah.
And when I think about it as well, so anxiety was a big issue as well. And anxiety, I suppose, can cause the that sort of fight or flight thing, and then that can relate back to your gut and your gut health, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. As I said previously, we were talking about it, so how the mind can fuck the body over. It's insane.
Yeah. So all of those things, it's kind of this, this brew of all these things that comes to a head, and wow, it's like, it's just crazy. I don't know how to describe it. It's quite a lot to unpack when have a conversation about, because you're like, oh, then there was this, then there was this, and then there was this. Yeah. But I suppose going back to doing some reading and listening podcasts and things like that. I think I might have overdosed on podcasts about the subject, but there's some great ones out there.
Oh, this will be one of them, mate. This will be one of them.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you know Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
So he had a doctor on, and she was saying at medical school. So she's from the US, so this doesn't necessarily apply to all medical schools, but she said so when she trained. I think she said they literally did like an hour or two on perimenopause.
Yeah, it is. It is an issue, isn't it?
And that's like mind blowing.
Yeah.
And obviously then she kind of went on to make it her mission to sort of right that wrong, I suppose, and really got heavily into that side of things, and is doing great work in that field and that space. But I just, and the stories that you hear about basically doctors, sort of gaslighting women and just sort of going, oh yeah, it's on your way sort of thing. It's just some menopause symptoms perhaps, or something else, or here's a prescription, see you later. Well, I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation is to say, well, that's not right. If it was, if imagine if all men went through perimenopause, I have a feeling that the situation might be very different.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Well, I'm not going to say I feel sorry for females, because they've got a lot to deal with that we have no fucking idea about, or a lot of times no conscious awareness of. Yeah. The way the female body works is cruel, and I could not imagine it. But as you say. Yeah. If we went through it, fuck, I tell you what, there'd be more wars, there'd be more punch-ups, it'd be just, the world would be a fucking mess, wouldn't it? It'd be an absolute shit show. Absolute shit show. So, I think even though we're 20 minutes into it, I think we want to touch on the fact that, we're not experts. We're not trying to give expert advice. We're having a discussion, and we're trying to give a male perspective on perimenopause. And I remember, as I said earlier, I discussed it with my wife. She goes, what are you going to talk about? I said, menopause. And she went, pfft. I go, fuck, come on, man. Come on. That's not very nice, because there's a lot of males out there that just don't have awareness of their partner, and especially in this stage of their life. Yeah. And one of the symptoms is with all this anxiety and all this hormone imbalance and mood swings, brain fog, it does damage to a healthy relationship, and it does it slowly, bit by bit, when sometimes you don't understand that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
You can have healthy relationships, and there'd be an argument here, or there'd be whatever. We all know, how it works, and we know when it's broken. But sometimes with perimenopause symptoms, it's just like this underlying simmer. And it can go completely unnoticed by the male,
Absolutely,
And then there might be this distance created between the two, and there's no discussion, there's no conscious awareness of exactly what's happening. I think perimenopause and menopause has probably been the demise of a whole lot of healthy relationships over the course of time, and going forward, it's probably going to do exactly the same. The good thing about it is that we are talking about, we're discussing like men's health, like fucking mental health, like suicide, the internet, as you say, podcasts. There's all this information out there. And I think if you're consciously aware, you should be digesting this information, and if you're in a relationship, you're in this part of your life between 40, 50, this should be on your radar. Yeah. As well as a few other things, like men's health as well too, like your prostate and all this stuff, heart health.
Yep. Yep.
So it's an important conversation that needs to be had. And as I said, when my wife went, "Pff," I go, come on, man. Have you seen a podcast with two guys sitting down talking about perimenopause? I think this, hey, is this the first? Are we the first to do this?
Oh, who knows?
Well,
Who knows?
if we are, we're breaking new ground here, which is great. It's a great thing to do, isn't it?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, and I imagine that maybe there's a few listeners out there that might have rolled their eyes at two blokes talking about perimenopause, which is fair enough.
For sure.
Like I say, I don't claim to be any kind of expert. I'm coming at this from the everyman perspective, my experience, and then doing a bit of reading about it and listening to some other podcasts, all that kind of stuff. And just in the hope that, as you say, these are things that we should be talking about. We need to normalize it. It feels like it's sort of brushed under the carpet, and then all of a sudden it's here, and you're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
That's what baffles me, is that, as I said, as I've gotten older, I've got more consciously aware about my own body, and then of course my partner and everybody around me. It's maybe it's just because what I'm doing here at Lure, it's all top of the mind, it's all in the front. But I just find it hard to believe that people can just have their head in the sand and not have these discussions.
Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting because, I suppose you the nature of what you do, you have these conversations that perhaps people aren't having, and I'm definitely one of those people. No one really talked to me about perimenopause. The only thing I can go back to a little bit is going back and visiting family in the UK, and my sister is 3 years older than me, and she's been going through the process, and she sort of made some jokes and some light-hearted things when I was there, and she's a bit of a scatterbrain anyway, and she's like, oh geez, bloody perimenopause, my mind's all over the place. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting, and she's like, yeah, God, yeah, it's a nightmare, and all these things happening into her body and all that kind of stuff, and and she made a bit of light about it and all that kind of stuff, and at the time I was completely oblivious to it, so I just sort of said, oh, that sounds pretty rough, but she's got a great family and support around her and everything else, and she's gone, she's going through that process and everything else, but yeah, it's still sort of one of those conversations that doesn't come up, and it's not exactly pub chat with your mates either, but I suppose what I'd like to say is perhaps it should be.
Oh, definitely.
And,
of course.
And you talk about relationships, I'm sure it is responsible for a lot of relationship breakdown.
How many people sit at the pub and fucking bitch and moan about their missus,
yeah,
but don't understand exactly what's going on?
No.
So we do talk about them, which is we're not talking about the right topics, are we?
Well, and some people need to get things off their chest, and that's fair enough. But then, maybe if you're sitting with a mate in a pub and he's talking about his wife, she's gone crazy and all the rest of it. If you've done a bit of reading or listening about the subject and have a bit of knowledge, then maybe you can say to your mate, look, maybe she's going through a hard time at the moment. Maybe you need to reframe your perspective.
Yeah. Well, cause and effect, mate. There's obviously something happening.
Yeah.
And it's causing this reaction. Now, it may be something that he's doing, he as in the partner is doing, or it may be something that's completely out of his control. But if they're not discussing it, I say go sit down with your mates and drill them on what they're going through, compare notes, but don't be afraid to ask the questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of your mates and definitely of your partner. There's got to be communication. Communication is key. And it's sometimes, like my wife says, it's about picking the right time as well too. Making sure that you're looking for that in, and it's how you approach it as well too. There's a lot of right ways to do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways to do it.
And you're going to make mistakes along the way.
For sure, for sure. But you'd want to hope that if you've been in a long-term relationship, you sort of know each other. And you should be in tune with each other. Checking in.
Exactly right.
Because it goes both ways. My wife will ring me at work and just go, hey, checking in, because she knows I'm going through some shit, or dealing with something.
Yeah.
And just that one act, which takes 2 minutes to do, and as I said, it goes both ways.
Yeah, and every relationship's different as well. So what works in one relationship might not work in another.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
you've got to be sort of flexible, and some people are very fiery. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate. I've been told that I'm very patient, and I think that's that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's a
and when if your partner or your wife or whatever is having having a hard time, then rather than biting back, maybe just take a deep breath and remind yourself, okay, maybe something's going on today where she's having a tough day. So just dial it back. Don't be too confrontational. Maybe ask, how can I help? How can I make things a bit easier for you?
Yeah.
And also as well, I mean, there's probably a lot of women that are going through it that aren't in relationships and stuff like that. So, again, be a good friend.
Yeah.
Be someone they can turn to.
Yeah, what do you think about a single mother dealing with children and menopause? You'd sort of think that at that stage of their life, their children are a little bit older. They're not going to be dealing with young children. Have conversations. I mean, if you're raising sons, sit down and have a conversation. As you say, like mum's fucking software is a little bit fucking all over the place at the moment, and we need to defrag the system and reboot it. But when mum does this, don't take it the wrong way. It's just I'm just going through this and try to explain to your children, and as I said, especially the male children, because it's the same with them. You want to ingrain in your sons good ethics, good morals, and stuff that's going to help them through life and relationships. And if they have an experience with their mother, and then they can pass it on to their partner in a good way, that's great. So
and I mean, I'm not a parent, so again, I've got nieces and nephews and things like that, so I have experience of looking after children, but I'm not a parent, so I can't speak from that side of things. But show up as a parent. Get off your phone or stop watching the footy on the telly and engage and just be there and be present. And if the kids are not understanding, then maybe explain it to them. And it'd be the same, I don't know if they teach this sort of thing in schools. I know there's sex ed and things like that.
Hey, Mav, well, so we've got Mav in the booth today. Are you awake in there, Mav, or is the conversation?
I'm awake.
Is the conversation got you intrigued?
Not particularly.
Not particularly. Not so. Do you remember looking back? Because what you say, you're 5 years into it.
I'd say from the very early stages. I think probably the last 12 to 15 months or so has been the sort of, I suppose, the more recognizable symptoms. But even then, as a case of, for instance, Lucy's really struggled with hip pain, hip discomfort.
Wow, is direct correlation to the perimenopause? There's nothing else underlying there?
At the time, we didn't really realise that, but yeah, I mean, she's always struggled a little bit with some mobility stuff. She's always said herself she's not very supple and things like that. But she's done a lot of work to try and help that, yoga and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it ramped up, and it was like, shit, where's this all coming from? And again, it appears to be another symptom to deal with.
Do you remember a point in time where perimenopause was mentioned for the first time? Was there a moment where when did the light go on for you guys? And was it both together, or was it you, or was it her first, or what?
I'd have to say it was probably Lucy first.
Yeah.
And it would have been, wow, time goes fast, doesn't it? Probably, where are we now? Less than 12 months ago, I'd say we fully, I suppose, started to see the connection between certain symptoms and patterns you start to see some patterns forming and things like
So
that.
you had 4 years of these patterns forming, and only in the last 12 months, because we're talking about a 5-year period, aren't we?
Yeah. So I suppose the very early stuff when I was talking about the cough and things like that.
Yep.
You know, that's probably one of the main things that now when you look back you can go, oh, maybe that was connected. We don't know for certain.
No.
And maybe some other sort of smaller things where maybe again you can look back and go, oh, okay, maybe if I'd have known more about the whole process, I could have said, oh, maybe that is the beginnings, of some of the symptoms that we sort of know about and recognise today. But I'd say probably in the last sort of 12 months or so, now I know a lot more about it, and Lucy does, and you sort of educate yourself, and it's like, okay, yeah, these are quite common symptoms that are recognised with perimenopause.
Okay, so talking about symptoms, what were Lucy's symptoms?
So yeah, the anxiety. I suppose that was coupled because she had quite a high pressure job as well.
Yep.
So again, going back further than 12 months, you sort of think, it's just stress from the job and things like that. But then once those perimenopause symptoms start kicking in, it just ramps everything up. And so anxiety got worse and worse, and she actually changed jobs because it was like, this is too much to deal with.
Oh, that's wise, isn't it? A lot of people would just fucking keep grinding.
She did really well in her job, and she was doing so well, but there came a point, and it was like, not just because of perimenopause symptoms, but there was a large part. I was like, you're just going to burn out if you're not careful, and you're dealing with a lot. Maybe it's time to think about a change.
So anxiety, sucks whether you're going through perimenopause or not.
Absolutely.
What else was she struggling with?
And then, as I said, the sort of the joint pain, the hip discomfort, that was quite a big one.
Was that localized in the hip?
Yeah.
Nothing else like arms or knees or anything?
Not really. No. That was one of the key areas. Definitely. Yeah. And that's something that she's got much better at managing with yoga and really regular exercise, which is another thing we'll talk about, I'm sure.
Of course.
I suppose sort of quite unpredictable mood swings.
Yep.
Things like that. Lucy's.
Was it aggressive? Was it like big swings?
No. I mean, Lucy is kind of like me, quite placid character.
Yeah.
But it's just, you just sort of. It's weird because you think, am I imagining this? This seems really out of character. And then you go, okay. So, they talk about the rage or grumpiness. And, what I understand now is that it's kind of, again, it's that chemical surge of adrenaline and cortisol that runs through the brain. And it's like a fight or flight response. And so you could say something and just trigger.
Yep.
And so maybe you can ask, you sort of the default question is, are you okay? But maybe
and even that can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
So
I'm not trying to paraphrase Lucy.
No, but you're right. It's and you just go, okay. So again, you do have to take a step back, take a deep breath, because sometimes the default thing is to sort of bite back, or and then you get into a war of words or something, and it's like, well, maybe you can just reframe that and kind of say, okay, well, what can I do to help right now, for instance? And that could just be something simple like, I'll unload the dishwasher, you just sit down, take a moment or whatever. What else? The sleep thing, the sort of the trouble sleeping is a big one.
Not to the point of insomnia though, just unsettled. Like she's not staying up late and just really struggling to go to sleep, or is it?
There were a few periods of that. She's trying to maintain good sleep hygiene. Not looking at your phone in bed and sort of
hygiene. I've never heard it phrased like that before.
Yeah, I suppose it's just that. I mean, that's another thing that gets talked about a lot more these days, which is great. The importance of good sleep.
Yeah.
And so she was she was really, trying to do all the right things, and it's just like, oh man, I'm waking up at random times in the night and can't get back to sleep, and it's so frustrating, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and actually, we're fortunate enough that we have the space in our house where it was a case of, and sometimes I snore, you had a few beers and that, and that just creates makes the problem worse, because then she's trying to sleep and listening to me snoring or something like that.
Mate, I'm a big advocate for separate bedrooms.
So
if you've got one, that's great. Obviously
yeah.
use it, because as you say, a couple of beers, snoring.
Yeah.
I luckily for me with my situation, I sleep like a baby, which is great. Like a bomb could go off and wouldn't wake me up. But
well, I mean, I'm a much better sleeper than I used to be. I used to be a bit terrible with sleeping as well. But yeah, if there's nothing wrong, as you pointed out, is sleeping in separate beds and that.
No.
If that helps each other out, what it seems daft to me that you both don't get good sleep or whatever, and you're both cranky, and then if you do have kids and all kinds of other crap to deal with, how do you get through the day?
Everything's just exacerbated, and it's just fucking compounds, and then that's when things just turn nasty sometimes. Which you don't want to get to, but unfortunately it does happen that way.
And then there's the subject of sort of intimacy and all that kind of stuff that goes with that. And again, you sometimes you'll get feelings of rejection and stuff like that, because there's a lot going on for her, and you have to again be mindful of that, and be mature about it, and talk about it. And
well, as a male, like one of the phrases we use here is just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. So it's going to happen. There's situations where, and there's a lot of psychology that goes into when females like to have intimacy. That's a whole fucking different subject. It's a whole different podcast. There's a lot of information out there. So if you're a male and you don't understand your partner, just if you're not talking to her, just do the research, because and as you say, and then there's stuff like lack of sleep, no intimacy, and then it sets your day up bad. You're having disagreements, and you're not enjoying each other's company. Everything compounds, and if you don't understand the root cause of what's going on, as I said, with regards to the amount of relationships that have just fallen by the wayside when maybe they didn't need to.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, it's having those conversations, and mental health and everything else. It's great that it's now talked about so much more freely. And that's a big thing. So if you're a guy and you're sort of getting a bit bewildered about all this stuff going on, then there's no harm in reaching out and speaking to someone. And sometimes you need that outside of the relationship as well.
Oh, for sure, exactly. And that's the importance of having a good friend group, good family, people that you can lean on. And everybody in their life has got a couple of people that they can go to. And if you don't, it seems sad that would be the case, but there's always exactly. But there are helplines, there are people that you can just pick up the phone and talk to. And as you say, the awareness about all these issues that have just been swept under the fucking carpet for decades. It's great that we're talking about it like we are today. Anybody listening to this, we hope you get something out of it, and you can reflect on it and have a chat with your mates at the pub next time you're talking about it. Say, hey, did you hear that Lured podcast, mate? Oh, no, I didn't. This is like, fucking give him the link.
Get on it.
Give him the link. Give him the link.
Yeah.
Hey, are you gonna talk about the VD? Are you gonna broach that, or am I gonna do it?
Oh,
because we've said it here before. We've said about, do you want to talk about vaginal dryness? And it's exactly the reaction, because obviously we had Paula and Joe back in episode 21. Talking about vaginal dryness, and that was actually the title of the podcast. So the female point of view about menopause and perimenopause.
So I suppose we've sort of touched upon it, but you could there's a phrase that struck a chord to me. It's called the engine stall. When the libido drops and the guys a guy might take it as rejection. But it's a biological thing.
Of course.
You
Yep.
know, so estrogen and testosterone, you know, that's dropping.
Well, let's have a look at that. Bring that slide up for us, Mav, with regards to the hormones. We've got a little bit of a slide here, and it just gives you a bit of an idea about the hormones.
Yeah, so I think as well, it's important to say that whole rejection thing and stuff like that. It's not necessarily because your partner or your wife is not attracted to you anymore.
Yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with that.
It's just It's her chemistry's, you know.
Well, so there you go. So we've got hormone deficiency and perimenopause. So understanding your symptoms. So low progesterone, heavy or painful periods, trouble sleeping, mood swings, anxiety, irregular cycles, PMS. Low estradiol is lighter or skip periods, weight gain, hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness or irritation, irregular cycles, joint pain we've talked about, hair thinning. That must be horrible for fucking females. Dry, less elastic skin, another one that can be very detrimental to somebody's mental health. Recurrent UTIs, which are urinary tract infections.
Yep.
And, of course, low testosterone. Females have testosterone as well as us.
Yep.
Brain fog, poor memory, low libido, decreased muscle mass, fatigue, depression, lack of motivation, difficulty losing weight, and dry skin. The whole thing just sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. And, you know, actually, it's just reminded me that there's some of the stuff I've talked about, sort of, I suppose, direct experience of some of the symptoms. There's still a few in there that I haven't even touched upon that are in there too. You know, fatigue and
flashes. Did Lucy get flashes?
She hasn't too much.
Hot flashes, because apparently they're fucking horrible.
Yeah, she has had one or two, but they don't. She said they're not too bad. So, but my sister, she what did she call them? Power surges. So when I was there, a couple of years ago, she was like, "Oh, God, I'm so hot. I'm having a power surge."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, well, yeah, that's another thing I learned, you know, about the whole thing."
But even some of the more benign ones, that like the brain fog, which you say take brain fog and you take vaginal dryness. Like the VD's the worst case, like that. It just sounds the worst. You know, brain fog can have an effect on so many other things. As you say, you used an example with parking a car, with Lucy parking a car. Parallel park 100 times, 1,000 times, a million times in her life, and then all of a sudden it just becomes, as you say, fucking.
It's like the car's an alien thing. You know?
Yeah,
and it's like just just can't judge it. And it's like,
which would be so frustrating, because that's the thing. And as we've discussed, there's females that are going through this. They've got symptoms. They may have half a dozen of them, may have a couple, and they don't understand what's going on. And it would just be very, very confusing and frustrating. You know, and sometimes it can just go under the radar. And totally, like a lot of females go, "Oh, it's all right. You know, I'm fine. I'll just soldier on. It's no stress."
Or some sort of, you know, some people might say, "Oh, you know, I'm having a blonde moment" or something like that, and sort of write it off as a bit of a brain fart and move on. But it's real. It's really real. And you do sometimes you just go, "Wow," like it's hard to process from a male perspective.
Well, you look at that list there, right? There's nothing in a male's journey that sort of comes close to that on an everyday basis, does it? We've got nothing to navigate through life.
No. That
comes even fucking close to this, does it?
Not really. No. So I suppose that's actually an interesting thing, isn't it? There could be some members of the audience, male members of the audience, going, "So do men go through any of this?" And as far as I'm aware, the answer is no, not really. As we get older, our testosterone levels do drop a bit.
Of course. Yep.
Which, you know, can lead to things. But we don't go through anything like this.
No. Not even fucking close.
No. So it's important to understand that.
Yeah. As I said earlier, the female body is an amazing fucking. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But they have to go through a lot of shit.
Oh, they do.
You know, and you got to take your hats off to them. I don't think we give them enough credit.
No.
No.
And I think
I'm going
as
to use
well-
this as a short too. We don't give them enough credit,
Yeah,
do
good
we?
one. Yeah. Get that one in the bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the VD.
Go on, say it.
So
Say it.
do you say-
Say the difficult
do
thing.
you say vaginal or vaginal?
Well, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, really, isn't it?
I suppose it depends where you're from, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
indeed.
But yeah, vaginal dryness. So that's a thing. Not everyone will experience it. So it's if the estrogen is low, then the tissue becomes thin and dry.
You've done some research.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
on you.
oh, yeah. You got it.
I didn't know that. I
Um,
didn't know. I just thought it was part of the whole thing. But thanks for
Yeah.
explaining it to it. That's
So intercourse becomes physically painful for some
Yeah.
women.
yeah.
And so if you then go back to the desire and the intimacy sort of connection, if a woman is experiencing that on top of all the other stuff,
Well, she's not going to want to entertain
yeah,
it at all,
yeah,
is she?
Yeah, and you're having a little suck about it, going, oh, she doesn't want.
Yeah.
Step back.
Yeah.
Step back and go, hang on,
Yeah.
actually, maybe.
Once again, communication, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's just that's the hub of the wheel, and I've
Yeah,
used that
yeah.
analogy before. It's like
Yeah.
you've got to have that communication.
Exactly
You know?
right. And and there's simple ways that you can help with that. We in my notes here, which I'm referring to try and keep me on track, is we need to normalize lube. Everything's better with lube, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
So,
yeah, not just spitting on it.
So, but there is also as well. You can go to your GP for advice on that as well. If you're comfortable, and you can actually get localized estrogen cream. It's on.
So that's
prescription.
is that HR? That's HRT, isn't it? Or is that
Well,
different?
I mean, I guess it's a form of HRT because estrogen is a hormone.
Hormone,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's applied locally. It's safe, and it might just help. Help in.
It's
in
not
that-
applied locally to the vag, though.
I
it's-
believe it is.
Oh, is it?
For this particular symptom?
Okay. Because
Um,
so has Lucy got HR? So the stuff that she rubs on her arm.
Yes. So this is, I suppose, the vaginal dryness thing.
Okay.
And this particular treatment is, I believe, a slightly separate thing than to, I suppose, the more generalised HRT.
Yeah.
Now, again, caveat, I could be completely wrong about that.
We'll do some research. We'll do some
yeah,
research
we'll
in the break. But I mean, as I said, we have talked about it before on previous podcasts. Where, as we've mentioned, we're not fucking experts on it.
No.
This is our own experience.
Yeah.
But we will, because my wife does the cream on the arm every night. Luckily for her and for me, no VD. So
Yeah, same.
great, which is great. But as you say, I can understand how some
Yeah.
females can struggle.
Yeah, and if you're, and if both of you are struggling and the relationship is having its challenges, that could just be a whole nother thing on top. And again, it's something, as you say, communication's key there.
Yeah.
And it's not just because she doesn't like you anymore or whatever. Although if you're being a dickhead, then maybe she doesn't.
Yeah.
Don't
be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
So, so I guess you could say move away from that whole kind of performance thing and go towards connection. And communicate and be aware that there are ways that you can navigate it for sure.
Well, as we've said, I mean, perimenopause and menopause is happening in a point of your life where if you're in a relationship, you're married, you've had kids, you've been with a partner for some time, you would think. And as I said, that sometimes these things can creep up and bite you in the bum. But if you are talking on a regular basis, it should be manageable. And I think as what was said before previously, it's like, just fucking ask the questions. Ask the questions. If you're not asking them directly to your partner or wife initially, ask a mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
else is.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got different
Start somewhere.
experiences. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask the questions. That's
Yeah.
I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, yeah, and so going back to your question about the HRT thing, so yeah, Lucy has quite recently, you know, got to that point, and now she's got the HRT treatment, and is starting on that path, and
Noticeable effects.
I think there definitely are some positive signs. It's still early days, and I think as well. So going to that is she had a lot of questions and maybe some concerns about HRT. So I think it was 20 something years ago, going back, there was a study that came out, and they were talking about HRT increasing risk of cancers and all this kind of thing. And it turns out that study has actually now been completely walked back. It's kind of been disproven. It was a very flawed study.
One study. Yeah.
Yeah. And overall, by and large, you know, she did a lot of reading about it and asked her doctor about it. And the positives generally outweigh any potential negatives.
And it's not something that she's going to be on for the rest of her life. No. It's not a. It's you know, obviously there's no remedy or no fix for perimenopause and menopause. There's no magic fucking pill that you can take and everything just disappears. It's a process the body goes through. It's a cycle. But yeah, you're not on HRT, so as doctors will explain to you, it's like the benefits outweigh any sort of, if there's any sort of downside to it, which is not, you're replacing a hormone. The reason why these things are happening is you've got a hormone deficiency. As you say, it's like testosterone in guys. I mean that's another subject as well too.
Absolutely.
Guys will be going. If you imagine the partner's overweight, he's not sleeping, he's got low testosterone, and then all these effects are compounding with the partner that's got menopause as well too. It's fucking scary to think about on paper, but it happens quite regularly. And a lot of guys don't understand what's happening to them as well too, as we said with females going through and not understanding what their body's doing and why it's changing. And for guys it can be a slow burn as well too, and
absolutely.
Excess body weight, visceral fat, mobility, and this is all the sort of stuff that as you get older in life, it's very important to just keep everything in check. So once again, as we've said before, go to your fucking doctors.
Absolutely.
Go to your fucking doctors.
And I think we're very lucky in Australia that we have access to extremely good healthcare. It's not always equitable, but it's pretty good. So
once again, that's another complete that's another podcast as well
subject.
too.
But we do have to keep in mind as well that in some people in some countries and in some situations might not necessarily have that access.
It doesn't bear thinking about that, does it? I know.
And again, going back to the sort of the podcast I listened to with the doctor from the US, she said something like the amount of money that goes into medical research in the States every year, billions and billions of dollars. The amount that goes into perimenopause research and that kind of stuff is like
fuck all.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how can that be? So that balance needs addressing, and access to the right healthcare and the right advice and the right treatments needs to be more equitable. Again, imagine if men were going through it. I'm sure it might be a very different situation when, equity in healthcare and access to it, I'm sure would be
exactly.
List,
exactly. There'd be a pill to take care of that fucking straight away, wouldn't there? There'd be all these billions of dollars spent on it.
So and that's not just some woke lefty leaning thinking. That's just fact.
Yeah.
We need to advocate for that. And advocate for women to have access to that. And I just can't. It blows my mind that you think of women in third world countries or where there's poor access to healthcare, or even in the United States where everything costs a fortune, healthcare wise.
Yeah.
You know, and there's women that simply just can't afford it, which is crazy.
This day and age, as you say, it just
Yeah.
it's hard to fathom that.
Yeah.
You know, we take it for granted, but then again, I think personally, I would seek it out if it wasn't available to me where I am. And obviously, that's not available to everybody in every scenario. But yeah, Australia and New Zealand's got a good alliance, good healthcare between the two of them, and so we're lucky. We are very, very lucky in that respect.
Yeah. And there's also, I mean, there's also a lot of misinformation out there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I think the one message there is just be a little bit smart and ask questions, you know, because there is so much shit out there.
And that's another podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Indeed.
But you know, I think people sometimes lose their ability to think critically and not just believe what's put in front of them. So just because you know, some influencer on Instagram or something says, "Oh, HRT's poison or you know, chemicals and all this kind of stuff." She's not a doctor. She's not a scientist. Whoever these influencers on Instagram, they don't have medical training and scientific knowledge.
Yeah.
They're just spouting.
Don't get your medical advice off fucking TikTok.
No.
Go see your GP.
No, exactly.
And as you say, we're luckily here that it's cheap and affordable to go and see a GP, and to get in quite quickly. You know, if you have a thing. So once again, go see your fucking doctors.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the sum of all parts. So you talked about changes in body shape and things like that. So that's another thing. So Lucy said, "Oh, I've got such an insatiable appetite." That was another symptom. And then she's like, but she was conflicted because she's like, you know, her body, she's lucky enough to be, she's never had any weight issues or anything like that. But, you know, they do get visceral fat and things like that where, you know, you start sort of, things start springing up and you go, where's that come from? And again, it's frustrating because it's like, well, I'm doing exercise, I'm eating the right things and X, Y, and Z, and I'm doing all this stuff and still, and it's like, yeah, look, relax. You can't expect to conquer all these things on your own, and in one go. It's a process.
But understanding exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, that root cause of the hormones that you know, cause and effect.
Yeah.
But as you say, it can fuck with you, and a female, you know, looks at herself and goes, why is this happening?
Yeah,
this shouldn't be happening, and then you've got this doubt and this anxiety and this stress
and
related.
And then you have things like social media and all this kind of stuff, painting the picture of what women, you know, perfect women should be, and all the rest of it, and it's completely false.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, men have to stop and think about that as well, because you know we're all guilty of you know, I suppose being influenced by these things that. All these, you know, you open Instagram and you hit the search button and most of it's just boobs and women in bikinis and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's my feed. That's that and car crashes and violence. Oh, not so much violence, but yeah.
You know, and you know, we can joke about it and the algorithm, you know, algorithms and God knows what just shove this stuff down your throat.
Yeah.
And then it completely distorts your view of actually what the real world is. So
it's so easy to go down a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah. So put down your phone and you know, have a conversation and
communicate
and I suppose lower your expectation. You know, come to the party with an open mind and don't just expect everything to be perfect Instagram world, because that's just not the way it works.
I know sometimes it's easier said than done, isn't it?
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah, we are. You know, we've all made mistakes, and you want to hope that you learn from your mistakes. You know? It's I won't say it's a minefield, but it could be a minefield sometimes, navigating, you know, life, relationships, family.
Yeah.
Now let's take a break. This podcast is brought to you by Holy Shirt Australia. Holy Shirt Australia are 100% online. They're Australia's largest no minimum custom print and embroidery company. All their services are completed in-house and they can deliver all orders promptly and professionally. They like to keep it simple and straightforward, so they offer cool stuff that can be custom printed or embroidered to your liking. They have an easy-to-use online designer to build your custom apparel from the comfort of your home or office. They offer pricing that reflects your individual order, and remember, they are no minimum on all their products. They deliver what the customer expects when they expect it. They've got over 1,500 products ready for you to custom print or embroider today, right now. So head to holyshirt.com.au for all your custom clothing requirements. How was that, mate? How do you rate the first half?
Oh, well, personally, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Great.
Good conversation.
That's what we want to do. That's obviously the idea. We've got a nice environment here. It's comfortable.
It's great.
Right. I've got some great whiskey here too, by the way.
Oh.
You want some?
You're talking my language, yeah.
There you go, sir.
Arigato.
Neat. Come by.
Arigatos, thank you.
Come by.
Cheers.
Oh, that is smooth. You like that?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I haven't seen that design on
Shinobu. It's a 10-year. It was a couple $100, but fuck, well worth it.
Well, thank you for sharing it with
me. That's my pleasure. Look, you can see we need another bottle, mate.
Yeah, right.
I bought that for the 50th podcast, and all the geezers loved it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if sometimes I buy wine or whatever just because I like the label. So that one would stand out. I mean, the design on that.
I think actually that's probably why I bought it. And it was in that price range where, because some of these whiskies can go $400 or $500. Yeah. You know, for of course the older it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on down there, Yosh? Yo, we got a guest in the studio. Yosh, come here.
Oh, she's wandering around. There you go.
Do you want to say hello to everybody? Come here. Everybody's a fan. Who's that? Look at that.
Oh.
This is Yoshi. Oh, I bet your mum's proud of you. She knows you had lots of pats today.
Oh yeah,
there you go, buddy.
Yeah, she'll get all the pats from me. That's for sure. She's beautiful.
She's loving it.
Dogs are the best.
She's loving it, mate. It's been a pleasure talking to you so far. It's as I said, we try to create an environment that's conducive to conversation, and it's good when we explain it's not an interview. We're just two guys shooting the breeze, and we'd hope that people listening to this are going to do the same, as we said, at the pub or whatever you're doing. Just sit down and have a chat with your mates.
No, you've created a great environment.
I like this. Is my happy place.
Yeah,
I've said this.
You should be proud.
I've said this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just
my God.
Hey, play that video, Mav. Yeah, play that. The day I found out my wife was going through the menopause.
That's funny, actually. Lucy actually sent me one of these clips this morning.
Yes, just give me 2 minutes.
Fine, I'll just do it myself, you fucking lazy piece of fucking shit! Pussy ass bitch, get off your fucking ass, loser!
Oh, you've got to laugh about it, don't you?
Well,
you have to laugh about it. Come on. Yeah. Come on, it can't all be serious.
Yeah.
Hopefully our female audience is still with us.
I hope so.
Through the second part. So we talked about like the light bulb moment with Lucy, and as you said, there was no one specific event in time that sort of brought you consciously aware of what was going on. And that's the thing with perimenopause and menopause, is that you've got a slow burn going on and you've got these symptoms, and let's go back to that slide, Mav, with some of the symptoms, because we've talked about brain fog, we've talked about joint pain, we've talked about
VD,
fatigue. So this here is 22 surprising symptoms of menopause. So we'll start from the top: headaches, dizziness, hair loss, depression, anxiety, allergies, panic attacks goes back to the anxiety, body odor, irregular heartbeat, digestive issues, bloating, incontinence, tingling. We're talking about the tingling in the fingers, hair loss, fatigue, dental issues, burning mouth syndrome. That sounds fucking horrible.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Breast soreness, itchiness, joint pain, electric shocks. That's an odd one. Brittle nails, muscle pain. So that sounds fucking horrible, doesn't it?
It's the gift that keeps giving, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, itchiness was one of them, actually, briefly. As well, sort of interestingly, this sort of reminds me of a few things that came up that kind of were there, but didn't seem to be an ongoing symptom. So sometimes the symptoms, like itchiness, for example, were sort of a bit of a thing for a while, and then it just sort of
Dissipates.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so again, at the time, and you're not realizing what's going on, you might just go, what's all that about, and just kind of write it off. But
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, well, as
so
you said,
many
there's no playbook on this. There's no. This is what's going to happen to you.
No,
you know.
no.
And as I said, it's about listening to your body and just if something's different, something's wrong, you know, just trying to get to the bottom of it. And as you say, some things come and go, and you sort of blow it off, and you don't understand the bigger picture.
That's it.
But as we said earlier, there's a lot of stuff they've got to go through, don't they?
Oh, yeah. And actually, interestingly, the brain fog thing, I remember when it sort of, does come up, and Lucy said it's so difficult to describe, and you start questioning yourself, is this some kind of early sign of dementia or something?
Well, that would cross my mind, wouldn't it? Because as you say, if your clarity is all of a sudden not there,
I mean, that must be really scary.
yeah. Well, it's the same with like anxiety and panic attacks.
Yeah.
If you've never had those before and you have them, they're fucking scary.
Yeah.
Very fucking scary.
Yeah.
And as I said,
really.
it's your mind fucking your body over, and it's just.
Yeah.
I fucking hate them. I hate panic attacks. I hate anxiety. It's horrible, and I hate that I have it in my later years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd went 45 years without even understanding what one was.
Yeah, I mean, anxiety just never entered the conversation, really, did it? Until quite recently.
Don't know until you know, eh? That's the thing.
Yeah, as I said to you, when I was experiencing, I'm fortunately I haven't had panic attacks or anything like that, but yeah, I was experiencing it a few years ago and getting this numbness and tingling, and I'm thinking, Christ, what is this? And you sort of, all these things start coming through you, coming into your head. Oh, God,
Yeah, don't go on Google, because
Google.
you just get cancer. Like, fuck.
Yeah, you're gonna die. Yeah, be careful with Dr. Google, because you can go down the wrong rabbit hole or get yourself really wound up about something.
Oh, I know, and so many people do it. I've been guilty of that.
Oh.
I've been guilty of it,
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, so I've created this ethos, this live until I die, and I sometimes think that it's maybe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You either believe that or you don't.
No,
And it's like, am I doing this? Is something going to happen to me? Like, is it eventually going to be live until I die dead? Is that going to be is that what's going to be on the internet?
Yeah.
If we ever get any sort of notoriety of anything.
Yeah.
It's sort of. I sometimes think I'm obviously doing it. I'm doing it for a reason, and the reason is to obviously educate, facilitate, give back in some way. I just hope it doesn't come and bite me in the ass. That's all. But I'm actually I'm not a hypochondriac, but I'm very aware if something changes, and that's come about in my later years.
I would agree with that as well. I'm probably the same sort of mindset, really.
Well, when you think about, when you get to a point, and for a lot of people it may be 50, where you understand about time and how much you may or may not have left. And then the important things are obviously your health. If you're smart enough to have that conscious awareness, which is what we're trying to trying to get across. It's like, listen to your body.
Yeah.
Ask the questions and go to your fucking doctors. You know.
Absolutely.
So as I said, hopefully it doesn't come bite me in the ass, and I can be doing this for many years.
Well, hopefully, but you just don't know, do you?
No, but as I've said, and that's the reason why we say go to your doctors, is I don't want something creeping up on me.
No.
The amount of people that have never been to a GP, they have these symptoms, or something happens, and then they wake up one day and
They got 6 months to live or something.
yeah. I find that hard to believe. I can see it happens,
Yeah.
but now I find it hard to believe that is a scenario for any adult. It's like, I suppose it all comes down to what your priorities are.
Yeah.
You know, some people just get caught in these ruts and in these situations where they're not listening to their body, not listening to themselves.
Yeah.
And it becomes the norm.
Mm.
You know, but yeah, for me to have something diagnosed, I mean, it's going to eventually happen to all of us at some point. But
Yeah.
you'd want to hope that you could get on top of it early.
Yeah.
You know, some people have these cancers or have these ailments, and they've ignored everything, all the signs, and it's just going to bite them in the ass.
True.
Sorry, mate, I didn't want to get all depressing.
No. I think you make a good point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, one of our good friends back in England, it's over 10 years ago now, probably closer to 15 years. She felt that something was wrong. Basically, she was convinced she had breast cancer. She just said, I know my body, something's wrong.
Yep.
And she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh no, you're too young for that." Yada yada yada, and kind of just dismissed it. Fortunately for her, she was like, "Nope, I'm getting a second opinion." And she had a battle to do that as well, because also in the UK, the system, the NHS system is that you're registered with your doctor, and unlike here where you can pretty much go and see any doctor.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's a different scenario. You go and see your doctor. So she had a battle to to go and see another doctor, but somehow she did. I can't remember the full story, but anyway, long story short, it saved her life because she did have breast cancer. So yeah, one of the things I think would be interesting to talk about is the angle of bro science. And
bro science. Explain to us what bro science is all about.
So I suppose it's the social media influences, and also not just bro science, but the sort of the toxic narrative. The likes of Andrew Tate, Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson's from my hometown, sadly. Not a good claim to fame. I don't know if you know who Tommy Robinson is.
No, he hasn't come across my radar, and that fucking Tate name just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, yeah, enough said.
Yeah.
And I suppose that the issue being is that they are they are misogynist, amongst other things.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking blatant too. Like
yeah,
it fucking riles me. It really does fucking rile me. And he's influencing all these young minds.
Exactly.
And it's fucking terrible.
Which
society doesn't need.
It's a cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needs to be rid.
It does. And they're the sort of people that could approach and frame women's health as some kind of burden or a mystery. Oh, they're just women and their crazy ways. So how do we counter that toxic narrative, and how can we reframe it that empathy is something that we can all probably work on, and
I think that's a societal problem regardless of whether you're talking about
it is, yeah,
menopause or perimenopause or females.
So how do we counteract that toxic narrative, and actually approach from a male perspective, is things like empathy and things like that as an actual real strength of being a male, and that could be one of our greatest strengths in this phase of a woman's life. How much better does that sound than these assholes, just talking shit about women and poisoning young minds.
Yeah. Let's face it. Look, not taking anything away, guys can be dicks.
Yeah,
We can be dicks.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put my hand up, and in the course of my life, I've been a dick. And goes back to that. You don't know until you know. But I don't want to be ignorant
No,
going forward.
no.
I want to learn, and I want to adapt, and I want to change, and I want to be a better version. And if empathy towards my partner, my children, my family, my friends is something that I haven't been doing, it's something that I want to do. I think it's important as a human being. I mean, as I said, it's not just on the subject of menopause.
Yeah.
It's about these connections that we make, which we all want to make as humans. And it just makes you a better person.
Absolutely. I mean, and you've got a platform. We're lucky enough to live in an age where people can have a platform, and you're using it positively. Sadly, there's people like this that want to poison everyone and poison young minds and all the rest of it. So I suppose documentaries, Adolescence on Netflix was a great example that demonstrated how young people are losing their way. And
Highly regarded. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I've it's been explained to me, and I understand the premise of it. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I highly recommend it. It's a great watch.
I'll put it. It's on my list.
Yeah. But we talked about algorithms. They feed outrage. And in manosphere land, the Andrew Tates of the world and stuff, women can be framed as adversaries and they're there to be managed. And that's just toxic nonsense.
All right, we're not going to use that fucking arsehle's name again.
No,
that's it. Last time we mentioned it.
Scrub him.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think fundamentally it comes down to parenting. Parenting young males is important with regards to foundational respect and as you say, how to understand about empathy and communication and relationships and where you fit in. I think that starts at home, and I would want to hope that that's what I've done with my son, so that going forward he's got these core values that will set him up. He's going to be going through everything that we've gone through at some point. He's going to be navigating all the stuff that we've done, maybe more, maybe less, depending on his path. But I think the importance of setting him up from a young age and having these core values is so fucking important. And you look at, I understand how people can lose their way.
Oh yeah.
I understand how you can easily be led astray or lose your way in life. I'm lucky that I've gone off the beaten track, but I've got back to the main highway, and some people haven't. Some people didn't make it back to the highway, or to even carry on with their existence.
Yeah.
But I think good parenting. It comes down to good parenting, and then of course it goes further than that. Having a good parent situation between the male and the female to be able to communicate these things. So it's this little ecosystem that needs to work perfectly to have all this happen. And of course you throw in life in there and all this other shit. And and that's life. It's life. There's no playbook. There's no
instruction manual.
There's no no instruction manual. No.
And you make a really good point, and it's great that you recognise that. But I suppose there's also a lot of kids out there that don't have that structure in their life. The parents might be absent. The parents might have addiction problems, that kind of thing.
It's single parents.
Yeah. So you know, it's, I mean, again, that's another podcast.
Of course.
altogether, isn't it? The sort of the breakdown of society and things like that. But yeah, you know, there are people that are in really good situations. They've got a stable family home and stuff. But, you know, with the distractions and stresses of life and work and stuff like that, then sometimes the parents are a bit absent. They might not mean to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to have those conversations and you know, and we need to make sure that our young people are not, they know how to think critically. They don't just see social media and just take that as, oh, that's truth.
Yeah.
And these bloody grifters, you know, preying on that is just so wrong. You know,
independent thought.
Yeah,
It's something that they have to engage in.
yeah. You
and-
know, real, the whole manosphere thing and oh, you got to be a dominant male and that, you know, look, real kind of being a decent person and everything, it's and masculinity, it's not about dominance. You need to be durable, you know, be a durable person, be the person that can sit in the fire with your partner when things aren't going as smoothly as you think your Instagram life should be, and be that person that's not just going to run away from it.
Well, your situation
Yeah.
with Lucy, can you explain? Was there a low point? Was there a situation where you sat down together and said, "What's going on?" With the understanding of where you were in amongst this, because you were amongst it. You've been, yeah, in the trenches as such, and it's probably sounds a little bit extreme, but do you recall the discussions that you had with each other?
Yeah, I'd say there probably wasn't one single thing, or sort of a make or break sit down summit or something like that. But yeah, we were seeing sort of things that perhaps were not as good as they could be, or not as healthy as they could be.
Did you have a good, healthy relationship prior to?
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
What? How do you think Lucy would rate that?
I think she would generally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I hope she does.
Hopefully, she's nodding as she hears this.
Bullshit. But yeah, and it's just recognizing that, hey, actually, you know, this is a phase of life that we need to face. You can't just sort of hope it goes away or you know, hide it under the carpet. And yeah, I think it was just a series of things, and then you start sort of thinking about all those little things that build up, and just sort of saying, hey, look, you know, maybe we just need to press the pause button and take a little reset. And at times as well, you know, life gets busy, so all those other things that go on top of that, and take the opportunity to just reconnect and go back to some of the things that maybe we haven't done so much of. That could just be something as simple as, you know, date night or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I to be honest, I'd be the first to admit I'm not a confrontational person, I should say. I run away from confrontation, and some of those conversations can be difficult, but you do need to have them. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was one single thing, and things didn't come to a head, and you know, there was a big sort of fallout from it and everything else.
So there was no point where you sort of were ready to hold your hands up and go, fucking, I don't understand, or just, it's just not working.
No,
was there any?
no,
there was
no.
nothing as dramatic as that.
No, you know, I'm glad that didn't get to that point. I could see how it could, absolutely.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, we've been together a long time as well, so that helps. We you know, I like to think we know each other pretty well. And but you know, we're just learning every day that, like you said, there's no instruction manual or playbook for this. So again, it's stopping and thinking and going, all right, you know, clearly there's something going on, so let's face up to it and address it before becomes something much bigger, and could be destructive for a relationship. Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can't talk for Lucy, but how do you think she would describe the experience?
Wow, how would she describe the experience? I think she's found it quite a challenge, quite confusing at times, and frustrating, because all of sort of, you look back and, as I said, some of the symptoms sort of creep up, but then some of the symptoms are quite sudden, and you're just like, what the hell's going on? And it can be quite scary as well, because you're like, I don't know what's going on. What's my body's changing and things like that. And I think she'd also be the first to admit as well that she probably wasn't prepared for it. So again, that's why having this conversation with you, and I think we need to normalize that conversation, and I think if you could go back in time and go back 5-10 years or something, and someone sat you down and go, look, this is gonna happen, that would be great. And I think hopefully it can spark some conversations and get people talking about it. I don't know what support groups or networks there are out there for men and women.
Hey, Mav, do you want to do a quick Google search for us, mate? And just Google support services for menopause Australia. Let's just see what pops up, mate. Just have a look. I'm quite interested because you have mental health issues and you've got services for that. You've got disability services. They're, as I say, we're pretty lucky in this country with what we have available. What do we got there? The Menopause Helpline. So that's an Australian company. The Lucy Rose Clinic. What else? Australian Menopause Centre. Treatment programs. That's obviously to deal with symptoms. Bulk build menopause consult. You'd want to hope that would be the case with bulk build, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Support services for menopause in Australia include specialist consultation via the Australasian. Is that correct?
Australasian Menopause Society.
It is Australasian, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Menopause is. I had a bit of a brain fart there for a minute. Let's start again. Support services for menopause in Australia include specialist consultation via the Australasian Menopause Society, AMS, to find doctors and comprehensive resources from Jean Hales for women's health. Support options range from 24/7 helplines to specialised groups like the Daisy Network for premature menopause. I've never heard that phrase because that's what perimenopause is. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a sec.
Wow.
Premature, that's obviously early onset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so going back to a friend I was talking to who was diagnosed with breast cancer. So one of the upshot of that is going through all that and unfortunately coming out the other side, fit and healthy. Obviously the treatment and all the ongoing medication and things like that brought on early onset, premature perimenopause.
Yeah, which is what that related to, didn't it?
Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing to deal with after all that. She's had to go through that. So
well, it's like an onion, and it's got layers to it.
Exactly.
It's got layers.
So yeah, I mean, and I suppose going back a little bit to the sort of the empathy side and that kind of thing. Scientifically, when men act as an ally and a caregiver, our oxytocin, which is sort of a bonding, that nice warm and fuzzy feeling, that rises, and the cortisol levels that cause stress and things like that, it drops. So if you can be a menopause ally, you're going to be calmer, less stressed, and healthier, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because stress is bad.
It is. It's the fucking number one killer, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you're an ally, not an adversary, then your life as a guy is probably going to be a lot nicer as well.
Yeah, don't fight it. Don't fight it because it's going to be detrimental to everything and everything and everybody involved. So once again it comes back to that. Like, I'm not a relationship expert. I'm no fucking expert.
No.
I've had life experiences and I've made a lot of mistakes. But what you're saying right there is basic a basic support system, and I think in any relationship, any good relationship, it should go both ways, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's going to be periods in men's life where you'd want to hope that your partner would understand or
absolutely
look at what's happening, and then obviously support. So it goes both ways, and that's life, you know.
That's right. And I think we're increasingly obviously living in a world that is at the moment crazy stuff's going on. I won't, we don't need to get into that too much, but
no politics on Lewis. No
no
politics.
politics.
No politics.
Oh,
we don't do politics.
but yeah, and that's fair enough. I understand that. But again, it's the algorithm and what's rammed down your throat. So we're getting to a point now. It's got to be left. You've got to be left or right. Pick a side. This kind of thing, and you don't have to do that. You can be somewhere in the middle, and you don't have to be outraged all the time. We're getting force fed all this outrage, all this. Oh my God, political parties and this narrative that's being thrust down us, and you can try and shut that out and just we don't need it in our lives.
I mean, a lot of people are looking for a tribe. They're looking for people, like-minded people, and
they're being preyed upon.
Yeah, but the human nature dictates that we want to be part of something. We want to be a part. Whether it's a family or a tribe, or it's just inherently in us. And people seek it out. And they get misguided.
They do.
And hopefully they make mistakes, and then they realise. We could go into the whole discussion about religion and stuff like that. And it's like they're seeking solace.
Picking a side and a tribe, and people getting misguided, and yeah, you're right. But maybe we don't need all that outrage in our lives and that additional stress. Politicians, politics, all these things going on in the world that gets rammed down our throats. It's designed to distract us and to pick a side and divide us. And maybe, just maybe, if you stop and think about it and put down the phone, ignore all the noise, and look after your own tribe, or find a positive tribe, that could be religion. Fair enough. Not everyone's cup of tea, not mine, but
whatever puts jam in your donut, mate.
Exactly. But and again, I suppose on a positive note, Lucy's found a great tribe through fitness and exercise, a fitness group.
That's positive. How good's that?
And you know what? It's been great. And they're a lovely bunch, and no dickhead policy, which is great. Don't be a dick. We don't, that's not part of it. And it's actually become a really good social network as well. And that's been such a positive thing. So, we don't always have to look to the negative, the news cycle and all this kind of stuff.
Isn't it funny how this day and age there's so much knowledge available to us, but we're all getting fucking dumber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
People are just taking information in bite form.
Yeah.
And shit's been thrown, as you say, it's been thrown down your throat based on your algorithms.
And then people are looking for someone to blame or a group of people to blame, dare I say the word, I won't say it, but, people that are new to the country, and all of a sudden, they're to blame for all our problems. No, they're not.
Immigration. I'll say it. Immigration's a hot topic, especially in your home, in your homeland. That's
that's another podcast.
Yeah.
But we're it seems that there's this blame game going on and stuff like that, and someone's looking to blame a certain group or people or a certain side, whether it's left or right or whatever, for all society's ills. And you know,
So we
it's not the
started
case.
talking about a female health issue,
Yeah,
and when you think about where we are now, it's sort of scary because it's like fucking what's up with humanity?
yeah.
Where are we going? Where's it going to end? It doesn't bode well, does it?
Well,
But-
you know, it's arguably society has always been like this, just in different forms. But it gets magnified now, doesn't it?
Of course,
'Cause
well, exactly, because
bombardment.
exactly, and AI is going to make it even even worse.
Yeah,
So it
Yeah.
doesn't even bear thinking about.
yeah,
Let's go back. I want to talk about Lucy again because, and also I want to say to you personally, I think you're brave to sit here today and have this discussion on this topic. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I don't know whether brave's the right word. Probably smart. Astute would be another word that I would use. I hope that we all hope that this discussion that we're having today is going to be emulated with other males
yeah,
or couples
Yeah, yeah,
in pubs or round dining tables.
yeah.
It's a topic that needs discussing.
Mm.
It's not taboo. You know, menopause is not a bad thing.
No.
It's
It's a software upgrade.
well put.
And you know,
Version
what?
2.0, exactly. We're going
There's
from
a few little glitches maybe along the way, and
yeah. I like the analogy. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Your,
and-
your partner's having a software upgrade, and with any software upgrade, there's a few little fucking hitches, few technical issues, but once you come through the other side, you're better for it. You understand more, and you'd want to hope that it would make your relationship even stronger because you're going through this adversity. Some cases are worse than others. We've discussed that. Some symptoms are worse than others.
Yeah,
As we said, every female is going to go through it
absolutely.
to some extent, and I hope it does strengthen relationships. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be guys that, as you say, they're going to be a little bit disillusioned if they don't understand what's happening. You know, maybe wondering whether it's them or does she love me anymore? Or why am I not sexually? Why am I not? Why don't we have this connection that we had prior?
Yeah,
Which can be really frustrating because a lot of relationships have really strong sexual connections, which is you'd think the fundamental basis of most relationships.
yeah,
And when that's suddenly taken away, you know, I'm sure there's been guys that haven't handled it correctly and have strayed and
yeah. It's a bruise to the ego, right? For some people, it could be.
yeah, exactly. And I understand. I fully understand a male's perspective where if the tap gets turned off and you don't know why the tap got turned off and you're not discussing it or there's no realization of what's happening, you would doubt where you fit in the whole situation.
Yeah.
You can see how it can break and destroy marriages and relationships
Yeah, yeah,
without this understanding of exactly what's happening. Now, there's some people, as we said, some guys are just fucking dicks and they'll just do whatever they fucking do anyway. And to those guys, I say, hey, I hope you figure it out
yeah,
someday.
yeah,
Excuse me. I hope you figure it out. I hope you find solace or you find your way and you're happy. Because as far as I'm concerned, it comes down to happiness. It comes down to being content and sort of knowing your place in this whole fucked up scenario that we've got, whether it's a matrix or it's not, you know.
Are we in a simulation?
Oh, who knows? Who fucking knows? I sometimes wonder, mate.
Oh, dear.
I sometimes wonder. But yeah, let's just hope that it's just talked about more and just understood.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And I know we might be running out of time here, but just touching on things like the workplace and stuff like that, where you might have a male-dominated workplace or something like that, and a woman's coping with a stressful job, if you're sitting at the top of the tree running a company, and you've got female employees, maybe you should think about how you treat those employees and when they're going through that period in their life, because that's something that just isn't talked about in the workplace.
No. And my wife's in HR, and obviously she's experienced exactly what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So the good thing about that is she has that knowledge to not so much diagnose, but understand and realise, because everybody's got shit going on, whether it's menopause or something else. Mental health is fucking top of the topic list, and it's good that it's been discussed. It's good that it's been talked about.
We need to. It needs to be normalised, like so many things now, fortunately, are being, which is great. And this is, every woman will go through it.
Well, as we said, you can't fucking avoid it, unfortunately. No. Hopefully, we've still got some female listeners that have come through this journey with us.
Yeah.
So looking at your situation, and obviously the reason why you're here today, give me. I was going to say a top five's not. That's not what I want. Give me a synopsis. Give me a menopause synopsis. If you're going to write a synopsis for your menopause movie, your documentary, how would it read?
Jesus, that's a question.
Sorry, I didn't give you a heads up on that, did I? That's my. Is that my job too or not? Yeah.
Wow.
The Dave and Lucy menopause documentary.
Geez.
What's the little caption going to be on Netflix? What's going to make me click on that?
All right, I'll have to think about this.
That's all right. We've got time, mate. No stress.
You can edit out.
We can do. Exactly. There's nothing. As I said to you earlier, there's nothing wrong with silence.
The synopsis. You put me on the spot. It's like trying to roll out an IT upgrade across an organization, and all the moving parts are there. Where am I going with this? But that analogy, you're trying to build the plane as you fly it. I think that's what it is. There's
trying to build the plane as you fly it. I've never heard that before.
Really?
No, I've never heard that phrase.
Oh, yeah, it's quite popular with
It's brilliant.
So you're sort of, you're going along, and it's like, all right, I'm there, and all these parts are flying at me. Where do they go? It's a jigsaw puzzle, and then you're reacting to things, and then things come up out of nowhere. How do you navigate it? It's navigating. It's navigating a big IT upgrade. I think. I don't know. That's probably a terrible synopsis. But
no. That's it makes sense to me. I think we've used a few analogies with regards to that through the podcast.
I don't want to do it to death, but and then you're going through that, and there'll be you go, oh man, that this particular upgrade is, some of it's been good, and some of it, we've taken a wrong turn there. So we need to patch it, a security patch or something.
Yeah.
There's a vulnerability to attack.
Well, it'd be like Google Maps sending you down a dead-end street, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Or someone, blindly following Google Maps off a cliff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's no right or wrong way.
No, it's the same with a lot of things in life, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and it's life. It's life. And I don't know how to articulate it really. It's my journey. I've been very fortunate that being in a healthy relationship, and you know, being able to talk about it and everything else. Still, things have caught us by surprise, but we're open to learning. I think that's the thing. I think that's probably one of the key things. Be open to learning, and just try and be a decent person.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
That should just be life's motto, shouldn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Well, as I said, hopefully, if there's been females that have gone through our journey with us today, I thank you. I hope you get that we get you. We understand. We should know more, and there should be more empathy. There should be more discussion. It's like, as you say, there's no right or wrong answers.
It's a big subject to tackle.
It is. It is. I hope we've done it justice today. That's all I can say. I hope we've done it justice. I hope my wife's opinion of this podcast subject, I hope she's changed her mind. She understands that what we're trying to do and how we're trying to educate our listeners, and just converse, just talk, just do what we're doing here.
And it comes from a good place as well. I'm not coming on here to tell people what to do or what's right or what's wrong.
Well, as we said, it's about our lived experience.
Yeah.
And you'd want to hope that, as I said, people are going to sit there and have these discussions about it. It's going to happen to every female. It's going to happen to everyone. Like, we're all going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death and taxes.
Yeah.
And perimenopause.
And menopause. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately for me, females, that's the list.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, I hope we've done it justice. And to all the guys out there listening, don't be a dick. Talk, communicate, and just fucking do it.
Be a good person.
Just to be a good person. Yeah. Mate, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time today. I hope you enjoyed the experience.
I did immensely, actually. Yeah, it's as I said to you, I spent weeks probably overthinking it and everything else. But yeah, you've created.
Did you tick all your boxes on your list there? You quite satisfied that? Yeah, because as I said, it's like you can be over prepared for something, but like what you came with today was great, because as I said, the discussion can go off on a tangent. But I think we've done it justice today. I think we've ticked those boxes that we wanted to tick. We've got those points across, which is great. So once again, I appreciate your effort. I appreciate you being here today talking about this. No doubt we're going to get you back for something else.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, if you've enjoyed the occasion today, it's the door's always open, mate. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
You can do that. You can always come back.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. That's a wrap, Mev.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in and for your time. You know the vibe, I'm steady living until I die. It's a loose state of mind, and we showed you that. Keep it authentic and real, I hope you coming back. Hey, make sure that you subscribe, cause we got it popping all the time, and it's going down. If you wanna elevate, wanna live a better life, keep it locked here. You know it's a loose state of mind, let's go.